Have you ever heard a story so strange, so unbelievable, that it sounds like it's straight out of a Hollywood movie? What if I told you one of the most baffling mysteries in recent British history wasn't fiction, but a chilling reality that stumped scientists, police, and experts for years? This is the story of a house that seemed to have a mind of its own. Welcome back to the channel. Today, we're travelling back to the early 1990s to a quiet corner of Staffordshire, England. In 1992, a man we'll call David and his family were thrilled to purchase an old house. It was quaint, charming, and known to the locals simply as the Blue House. From the outside, it was just another home on the street. But what lay within its walls would soon defy all logical explanation. The family settled in, excited for their new life. But just 1 week after moving their boxes in, the house began to reveal its secrets. It started subtly, as these things often do. David would be downstairs late at night and hear distinct footsteps creaking across the floorboards upstairs. He'd call out, thinking it was one of the kids, only to be met with silence. He'd check their rooms and find them fast asleep. The house was supposed to be empty, save for his family, but it never felt that way. In a recorded testimony, David described the unsettling beginnings. "I used to hear footsteps upstairs at night, even though the house was empty. Doors would open and close by themselves. Imagine the feeling, the slow, creeping dread that you're not alone in your own home. A door you know you shut is suddenly ajar. A sound with no source echoes from an empty room." For the family, this was just the beginning of a waking nightmare. Soon, the phenomena escalated from strange sounds to something far more bizarre. One morning, the family woke up to find strange writing scrawled across their walls. These weren't words in any known language, nor were they random scribbles. They were intricate, complex symbols, almost mathematical in their precision. They looked like something from an ancient, forgotten text or a futuristic blueprint. Frightened and desperate for answers, David did the only thing he could think of. He meticulously photographed every symbol and went to the police. Take a look at these actual photos taken by David inside the house. These are the very symbols that appeared overnight. They are precise, deliberate, and utterly alien. When experts were brought in to analyze them, they immediately ruled out the possibility that they were made by a person, and they certainly weren't the scratches of an animal. The lines were too perfect, the patterns too complex. It was as if the walls themselves were trying to communicate in a language no one on Earth could understand. The local police, initially skeptical, couldn't ignore the growing evidence. They opened an official investigation into the events at the Blue House. Over the next 3 months, the situation only intensified. The police documented a staggering 67 separate, unexplainable incidents. These weren't just noises and symbols anymore. Loud, rhythmic knocking would erupt from deep within the walls, as if someone was trapped inside. Power in the house would behave erratically, with lights in specific rooms shutting off while the rest of the house remained fully powered. And despite the family's and later the police's attempts to monitor the house, new symbols would continue to appear on freshly painted walls, with no sign of entry or interference. We managed to find an old interview clip with John Wilson, one of the lead investigators on the case. His words still echo the utter confusion they felt at the time. He said, "This case was unique. We found no evidence of human tampering, nor any natural explanation for the phenomena. The police were at a complete dead end. They had checked for pranksters, squatters, and structural issues. They found nothing. The Blue House was a locked room mystery on a scale they had never encountered." With the police investigation going nowhere, the case attracted the attention of the academic world. The local university, Intrigued and baffled by the reports, assembled a multidisciplinary team to conduct a thorough scientific investigation. This wasn't some amateur ghost hunting crew, this was a serious team of engineers, chemists, and psychologists. They descended on the Blue House, armed with state-of-the-art equipment, determined to find a rational, scientific explanation for what was happening. They spent weeks inside the house, running every test imaginable. They set up electromagnetic field detectors, hoping to find unusual energy fluctuations that could affect the human brain and cause hallucinations. The readings came back completely normal. They analyzed paint samples and wall scrapings, searching for any chemical residues or hidden substances that could be causing the symbols to appear. They found nothing out of the ordinary. The psychologists interviewed the family extensively, evaluating their mental state and looking for any signs of shared delusion or a cry for attention. The family was found to be perfectly sane, credible, and genuinely terrified. After weeks of exhaustive research, the scientific team's conclusions were, to put it mildly, shocking. Their official report only deepened the mystery. First, the symbols. The mathematicians on the team noted that the writings weren't just random doodles, they bore a striking resemblance to advanced, theoretical mathematical systems, far beyond anything a layperson could invent. Second, their physical investigation confirmed what the police had suspected. They found zero evidence of fraud or tampering. The phenomena were real, but their cause remained a complete unknown. The Blue House had defeated them all. It had presented a series of impossible events, and science, law enforcement, and logic had no answers. The constant stress and fear became too much for David and his family to bear. Living in a home that felt alien and hostile, a place where the laws of physics seemed to bend, was unbearable. In 1994, 2 years after they first moved in, they made the difficult decision to leave. They packed their belongings and moved away from the Blue House, desperate to leave the mystery and the terror behind. And here is where the story takes its final, baffling twist. The house was sold to a new owner. Everyone, from the neighbors to the police, waited with bated breath. Would the strange events continue? Would the new owner report footsteps, knocking, and cryptic symbols on the walls? The answer was no. The new buyer and every subsequent resident of the house has never reported a single strange incident. The Blue House, once a hotbed of paranormal activity, became just a house again. It went silent. Here are some recent photos of the house as it stands today. It looks peaceful, ordinary, indistinguishable from any other home on the street. It holds no outward sign of the bizarre events that once took place within its walls. To this day, no one has ever been able to explain what happened in the Blue House between 1992 and 1994. The official case files remain open, but inactive, a testament to a mystery that has no solution. And perhaps the strangest detail of all. After the family moved out, the complex symbols that had covered the walls simply vanished. They didn't fade over time, they weren't painted over by the new owners. They were just gone, leaving no trace they had ever been there. So what really happened? Was there some undiscovered scientific phenomenon at play? A unique combination of environmental factors that we don't yet have the technology to detect or understand? Or does the story of the Blue House prove that there are forces and realities in our world that exist beyond the grasp of our current comprehension? A story where a house seemed to come alive, communicate in an impossible language, and then fall silent forever. What do you think? Let me know your theories down in the comments below. I'd love to hear what you make of this incredibly strange case. If you found this story as fascinating as I did, please give this video a thumbs up. And don't forget to subscribe and hit that notification bell so you don't miss our next dive into the unknown. Thanks for watching, and we'll see you in the next video.